Seems like the wokeism that we've had in the NHS has become an international problem, as we are now seeing Chinese healthcare workers dancing in the middle of their 2022 lockdown. Okay, seems like this is genuinely a global issue now when it comes to not just authoritarianism, because yes, authoritarianism and tyranny are back in the 21st century. The promise of freedom and democracy and self-determination that we had since 1944 and 1945 it's gone out the window, even in Western societies. Although we've had a lot of pressure on the likes of Justin Trudeau and many others to force them to make a bit of U-turn for now, say no to the new normal, to bring back normality, but they are now moving to the next phase, which is, of course, centralization of globalism and everything else, 15-minute cities. We're going to talk about that, by the way, as well. But this is about China. Look at this video. Just watch this video of the healthcare workers who are literally bringing in tyranny to ordinary people's lives, but they're happy because they're dancing around. What? At least when they're dancing to TikTok, TikTok is actually based in China, so their data is already centralized anyway. So they're not really giving up any of their privacy because the state already knows who they exactly are. So this is China, commie China, and everything would have been slightly acceptable, unfortunately, if we had seen this a couple of years ago, a few years ago, but nowhere else in the Western world. We would have decided to sit here and say, well, at least our countries are free. At least we don't have tyranny. At least our healthcare workers are not busy dancing to TikTok instead of actually doing their jobs. But now it's a global issue. It's everywhere. The Chinese forces are failing. The CCP are now knocking on doors, the elderly, their houses. They're trying to force them to take the latest jabs, and they're not doing it. They're all reluctant. They're all fighting back because they say, well, especially in China, the side effects have been extreme, massive. You haven't seen anything yet. Just wait for another few years, you see. Even the elderly who were told that you are in the vulnerable category, you're going to have to take the jab. They say, well, I'm going to take the risk. I've lived a good 90 years life, 90 years, and I'm going to basically enjoy the last few. I'm not taking this. I want to enjoy my years with my grandchildren. They are fighting back. They are now on the street chanting Free China and the CCP rule. This is going to be a massive, massive long-term battle. The Chinese citizens are not going to randomly and easily win against the CCP. Just like how the Iranian freedom fighters are not going to easily win against the Islamic occupation. But the snowball has started. They will take back their countries. They will do something about it. The problem here is that, for example, the comparison between Iran and China is that at least we know with the Iranians, they are united. There's no vacuum. They know exactly what they want. They've pre-written their constitution, which is going back to the traditional Persian constitution. And so they know what's going to happen. The problem with the Chinese citizens is, even if they manage to get rid of the CCP, what next? Are they going to be able to actually immediately implement democracy, Western democracy? What sort of democracy? What sort of vacuum are we talking about? But at least it will be a bit of change from the current tyranny that they are having under the CCP rule. We'll see what happens. But the problem here is that they have been pushing back. So the CCP government had to abandon key parts of the zero virus strategy because of the latest movement against them. So it does work. The movements, the marches, the protests and everything else have had some sort of effect, but not fully. So they are saying, well, we're going to have to make a bit of a U-turn, but they are still targeting individuals. They are still monitoring every movement that they are having. They control every area of their society. And if we're not careful, we will become another China in the future. So we have to fight back now to make sure we maintain the basic freedoms that we still have a bit of them left in the West. Let me know what you think. Amaya, Tousi, and we are the media.